Hi there, this is Snow City Tarot, and I'm here with a pick a card reading. Today's topic is going to be the week ahead. So we're going to be looking at what's going to happen to your life in the week ahead. Very straightforward. First, I want to say thank you to Aries for giving me this beautiful bracelet. I will link to their Instagram in my description box, but I thought this was so lovely. They have all these stones up here, real authentic lapis lazuli for mine, but you can actually customize it to get whatever stone that you want the most. And if you go onto their website, they'd actually look at it and you can actually look at it and see what stone would best fit you. So this is quite pretty, honestly, if you want to take a look at it. And I am not being sponsored. This was a serious gift, and I wanted to let you all know about it because it is a really nice bracelet. So anyway, so before I get into this, I just want to give you guys a bit of a heads up. The next week is going to be rough for a lot of people. We have a full moon in Aries. And right now Aries is kind of like a hot area, a hot button sign, because it does have Mars retrograde. And if you weren't aware, we are also in 2020 where there are no rules. So just please be aware that it's going to be a tough week for pretty much everybody, especially if you are a Cancer, Aries, Libra, or a Capricorn. This is just the nature of what's going on, late degrees especially, but I think for most of the world it's going to be just kind of tough just because of the nature of this year and these transits and things like that. So please just be aware. If it seems dramatic, just try to take it with a grain of salt there, because things are going to be different for everybody. We all have different things going on. Also, just keep in mind that if I foretell anything that's like I said, dramatic, you can always kind of dial that back, because tarot really doesn't have a tone per se. You get the death card and it could mean that something small is happening, like maybe your fish dies, or it could be like maybe your grandma. It's really hard to tell, and you really can't make any true predictions about something that heavy, especially not in a pick a card reading, and nor should you even try to predict it anyway. We need to sometimes let life happen. So with that said, I have 5 piles here. Please pick one of these options. We have a turtle, a cat, St. Joseph's Oratory, I want to call it a challenge coin, but I don't think that's right, just a coin, a sun pin, and this ornate pin. So take a deep breath, ask what's ahead for you next week, and pick one of these options. And I'll be starting with the turtle. Hi group 1, this is for you, turtle pile. So turtle pile people, what is your week ahead going to be like? So we've got to focus here on the 11th house. So 11th house is your communities, your friends, your clubs, your groups of people that you want to associate with, So this could be something that will be coming into focus for you. It's also something that can show your hopes and aspirations and things like that, your dreams for the future. So I got a bunch of cards here that I've taken. Let's see here, including advice. So don't feel like you're going to be in the dark. Let's see, how did I get these guys out last time? Okay. So, big thing here is you're going to be having the biggest situation of your week this coming week is going to be the 6 of Pentacles, which isn't necessarily bad or good. It's what you make of it, I think, in this case. But the way that you're going to feel about it is the 2 of Swords. And I did take these cards here, and it says goldfish, and then it says pig. And pig is how you're feeling. So what you're being given is goldfish, which says increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. So it looks like you're going to be getting a gift, right? This seems like very positive. But there's something about you that is not so keen on it. So it's not necessarily a material gift. It could possibly be an invitation or an inclusion or something favorable that is coming your way, but you for some reason cannot wrap your head around it. Like you just don't want it, or you feel bad about taking it, or you can't say thank you, or there's some kind of bitterness or some kind of hang up or some kind of lack of pleasure or gratitude when it comes to this. And I'm not really sure why that would be. You're all going to be very different in your situations and how you react to things, but you're getting something very favorable. And actually your lesson and your advice have something to do with this as well. So I'll continue. So the challenge for the week, and then we have the advice, and then we have the outcome. And outcome's not really like saying like if you do the advice anyway, you know, like it's just saying this would help you through the situation, and then outcome is like the outcome. And look at my mess here. And please, I don't know if you guys can hear that, so my window is buzzing. So what I see here, especially for challenges, is like a pity party. So I feel like someone is giving you something. It's something nice, but you feel some kind of guilt or indecision about taking it. You don't want to be greedy. You don't want to take too much. But this is being given to you out of a place of generosity. For some reason, though, it does seem like there is some sort of choice, though. With the Two of Swords, it can talk about a choice and not being able to figure out, do I want to take it? Do I not want to take it? Which makes me kind of think that maybe it's an invitation to go and commune with other people with this 11th house energy. Commune with other people, or you're getting invited to some kind of group event or a you know, some kind of gathering, you know, or maybe it's you're being invited out to participate in something that you'll feel bad about, you think, or you may be offered something from another group of people that you feel guilty about taking. So it's kind of very interesting what this could possibly be, seeing as you don't want to take it. So I'm not really sure, like whoever's giving it to you thinks that you could use it and they would like to give it to you. Now in some cases, but I don't really feel like this is the situation, but in some cases maybe some of you might be feeling bribed. Like you may feel like, oh, well, they want something from me, so they're giving me this thing, so I can't take it. So there's almost like a level of suspicion somewhat about this. Also, this could also be some kind of act of charity as well, because the challenge here is in you. The challenge is you accepting some kind of gift or some kind of kindness or charity, and it kind of results in you kind of getting in your own way, kind of being you know, wanting to like run away, or wanting to have a pity party and be solitary, and you may have all these ideas and reasons to think this. Now what's interesting is because your advice is the Queen of Swords in reverse, this is talking about maybe being a little bit rude, honestly, or maybe you might be feeling like distrustful, or like they're gossiping about you, or things like that, you know, like maybe this isn't the case. It's also saying that maybe you should be a little bit more kind, or maybe not so cold. Whatever it is, you have some kind of defense that's being brought up here, and you're feeling just very defensive. You might be very harsh with your words. You may not mince them, but somehow it's very strange, because you're responding like this to an act of kindness. So something may have happened around this situation that may kind of make you feel distrustful, or it's coming from a group of people with this 11th house, a group of people that you don't really get behind, or you don't follow their value systems, or something like that. And so therefore you're kind of being a little bit suspicious. So the advice with the Queen of Swords in this case is to try not to have too many negative thoughts about this. Try not to be so resistant. You know, if you feel like these people are talking bad against you and this is some kind of setup or a trick, it's kind of saying that maybe you should have a little bit more faith. This week particularly is going to make people feel all kinds of things. Very emotional. It's a very emotional time. Just because it's full moons are kind of emotional times to begin with. On top of that, we have all these other things going on in the world, setting things up for very tense situations. And then on top of that, we all have personal aspects in our chart, personal planets in different houses. And so a lot of us can get kind of, can be very touchy right now. So just be aware of that, especially when we have aspects to Uranus, which means that maybe a lot of us had a lot of unexpected sort of things happen last week. And now next week, we're all kind of like, ooh, what's going to happen? You know, we might be very tense about these things. So the outcome of this is honestly, I think, a good thing. Outcome of whatever this happens is you choose to be alone. You say, you know what? I want to be alone, because you're choosing to be away from these people. I think that if that's truly what you want to do for this particular week, I think it's going to be beneficial. I don't think that there's anything wrong with this, with wanting to be reclusive this week. I think that, a lot of us are going to be better off by ourselves to avoid, tense situations, or avoid saying things we don't mean, because it is, tempers will be kind of running hot. So I think that your outcome will be rather good. I think that honestly you're going to take the, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all approach. Whether you accept this gift, I'm not entirely sure. I think that's going to be an individual thing for all of you, whether you take it or not. But like I said, if it's not a gift, it could be an opportunity, it could be a job, it could be maybe you're being favored over another person. Like maybe this is something that could go to you or someone else, and say maybe it was a friend, 11th house, friends. So maybe a friend of yours is getting screwed and you're getting favored, or you're taking something that they had and you feel terrible about it. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking it could be seeing here. So the next step here is to assess the lesson in this, because I wanted to make this a productive week instead of just, sitting there and saying, you win $1 million, yay, whatever. I'm giving you some guidance here, because there's lessons in hard times like this, Even if this isn't particularly hard for you, I think you might just be faced with some situations where you're like, what do I do? So we got gratitude as your lesson, and it says, I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Sorry, I can't read very well upside down, but that's what this is saying. So gratitude. So this is saying with the lesson is there's something about this that you just don't feel like you deserve it. You don't feel like you can accept it. Maybe this has something to do with you just not being able to accept gifts or kindness. This could even be just like a compliment or something. Maybe someone's trying to cheer you up and you just don't feel like you deserve it. And you're just like, no, I'm worthless. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve kindness. I don't deserve any of these things. Maybe there's some aspect of guilt, perhaps, like just in thinking that you don't deserve things. But this is saying that this is the lesson is try to accept this. Try to accept a gift and say, yes, thank you. I'm so appreciate that you thought of me for this, and I want to take this. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I know that people say that they feel like it's rude to just kind of blatantly accept a gift. It's just a lot of cultures are like that. But the person giving it to you is giving it to you because they want to. They feel that it's worth it. So by giving it to you and you accepting, that is just perfect. That's wonderful. It actually improves relationships because it shows that that person has some value to you, So maybe you should explore this week what your deal is. Explore what your hangups are on accepting gifts. Maybe somebody used gifts against you a long time ago. Like maybe there was someone who used it as a form of manipulation, and now you have a trust problem when it comes to people giving you things. So that's kind of what you should be thinking about this week, as far as like, why is this so difficult for you? It's a nice thing. Like someone made you like a birthday cake and you're like, oh, I can't. You spent too much time on that. It's either an issue with self-worth or it's an issue with trust in other people, that they don't want to like manipulate you. They just want to be kind. Sometimes that's just how it is. Sometimes people just want to be kind. So that's that. Now, between worlds is also your advice for this. Interestingly enough, this is talking about being between worlds, feeling like you're not here or there, or you're in some kind of transitional period. And this is in reverse too, by the way. So this is a protection message. But this talks about this feeling of kind of like not being associated with anything, or not being able to fit in, or not being able to feel integrated into something. And this doesn't necessarily have to be all the time. It's just this could be a stage in your life where you're like, well, am I here? Am I there? Am I part of this group? Am I part of that group? You may not know. And you also may be in a stage where you have to make some kind of decision or a choice or something. And this could be saying that don't be so caught up in the choice. Just do what it is that you want to do. Make the kind of live in the moment with this when it comes to things. Because with this card, it actually warns people at the protection message that whatever outcome you think is going to happen by making this decision or accepting this is not going to be whatever you think it is. So just be prepared. It's not necessarily saying it's going to be better or worse, but it's saying that the outcome for this is just not going to be what you intended, what you expected. So at this point, and it says there's nothing you can really do about that. So you kind of need to relinquish your control over how this turns out, you know? So just be aware of that if you're hung up on something because of an outcome, it doesn't matter anyway, because the outcome is going to be unexpected. So that is your advice. So I did want to pull these cards here, actually, because I was like going through this, and my dear friend Arcane and Stellar, I was like, boy, this is going to be a rough week for people. And she's like, well, maybe pull a card on silver linings or something, like something that'll happen that's good this week. And I'm like, that's a great idea. So if you haven't gone to Arcane's and Stellar's channel, I'm plugging her because she's just darling. So let me see here. Well, let's see here. We're going to ask, what positive thing will happen this week for you? What positive thing will happen for you? So there's no negatives in this. Nothing bad can come out. Queen of Pentacles and the Star. Oh, that's nice. So again, 11th house, we're talking about dreams and wishes and things. So this, while this seems kind of like negative, I think that because it's very focused on your benefit, like what's good for you. And a lot of times that means that we have to do hard things to do what's good for us. It's a pill, you know. But the Star card here is saying that with positivity here, wishes and dreams come true. You know, so for some of you, this could be as grand as a wish or a dream to come true. We have Queen of Pentacles, so this could be like a healing almost with this Queen of Pentacles. So there's something about your life that hasn't really been feeling nurtured or appreciated or grown or treated with respect or treated with love. This is that thing that will be treated with love. So we might be seeing that your dreams and aspirations will be treated seriously. They'll be appreciated. They'll be loved. You might be working on them yourself. It could be a very emotionally healing aspect to this whole thing here, maybe. You know, and this could be saying there's self-healing, self-care, self-love that you could be practicing on yourself. And that could be very transformative, very beneficial for whatever you're going through this week. So maybe you see this and you're like, why can't I accept these things? Why can't I, do this or that? You know, why don't I fit in? Why do I feel like this? And this could be saying that these are going to be some things that you address, and you'll feel so much better for them too. So that is really, honestly, very positive. The Star card is like you can't really get much better than the Star card. This is also saying that if you've been going through a hard time, there's recovery ahead, because the Star comes after the, you know, all the events of earlier arcana with death and the Tower and all this stuff. And this is that moment of tranquil peace. Things are fine. They'll be okay. And they'll be healing. So this is very nice. So, and this can also actually reference for some of you. If you have a friend that's a Capricorn or you're a Capricorn, this could be something healing involving them. So maybe you'll spend time with somebody that is very healing. Some of you may actually see your mother, because Queen of Pentacles is a mom to me, a mummy. So this was, I did pull a random quote off of a random quote generator to see how it would go. And this says, we may all come from one, let me redo this. We may have all come on different ships, but we are now in the same boat. So this is that message for you. So this may mean something to you. This may mean something to somebody else. I'm not going to dig too deep into it, but it sounds like there may be a sense of oneness ahead for you. So if you don't feel like you belong, I think that you will quickly find that you are being welcomed, that you are welcome in other places, and that you're not too weird or out of place or people don't understand you. They do. Especially if you're in a current situation where you're new somewhere, you will fit in. So don't worry or fret about that. So that was your reading. If you want to get a reading with me, you can go to my Etsy. It's in the description box below. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you found this helpful, if you found that it resonated. Go down into the description box too and type in what number you had, and then you can come back after the week's over and see if it actually happened. So I want to thank you for watching, and I'm going to move on to the next. Hi, group 2. This is for those of you that picked the cat or puma or I don't know. I think it's a jaguar. It's gold, so it's hard to tell. So, I have a bunch of cards here, and I'm going to pull some cards for a silver lining just so you know, because it is going to be a rough week for a lot of people. So, I want to make sure that people are feeling taken care of in that way. And I also did take reversals because I do have a system here with my placements and things. So this is what's going on. This is how you feel as the Seven of Swords. So there's kind of a bit of suspicion here, or some kind of issue, I think, when it comes to relating with others is a big one. Because, so here's the big thing here. This is the 12th house. So whatever is happening this week, the biggest thing that's going to be happening, it has something to do with the 12th house. So what that could be is hospitals, it could be jails, it could be hidden places. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be a place. I have a strong feeling that this is going to be in your mind, because the 12th house, and with all the other cards I'm getting, it kind of appears like you might be feeling a little paranoid. Like the 12th house can be fears. It can be mostly like fear of the unknown. I mean, that's what most fear is fear of the unknown. They're just different things under that umbrella. So there's something here that you're not really comfortable about, not really feeling very trusting either. That's a big thing. I feel like trust is a big issue here for you. There could be things that are kind of clouded, or there may be illusions, and you may feel kind of lost in a little bit in a way when it comes to relating with others. And I strongly believe this has to do with relating with others, because because of the rest of the spread. But what I'm seeing here, though, for the main attraction is temperance. So what is temperance? Temperance is about adaptation, coordination, self-control, modification, working harmoniously with others, lots of and like successful combinations and things that are good, things that are positive coming together to make something better. So a lot of times you could probably see this in a daily situation as teamwork, or having to integrate other people's lives or their needs or preferences into your own. And you may not necessarily trust those other people's needs, or trust that their ideas are as good as yours, or that you might feel like if they're suggesting something or wanting to move forward on something and they want to do it with you together, you may have your suspicions on whether or not that is something that you can trust or get behind, or whether they'll lead you into oblivion or something. Now what's interesting here is, so something about the 12th house also that you may not be aware of is it is the house of self-undoing. So what do you think what happens when we assume too much, or when we go off of our intuition too much without going and thinking about things logically? What do you think happens? Paranoia. You start to find enemies that aren't there. There's just a lot of clouding, a lot of clouded judgment, and then from there we make weird decisions. So going off of nothing, or not asking the right questions, or not not getting the information that we need to get, is going to become our own undoing. And whatever your reasons are for not collecting this information, it may just be a trust issue, but you may want to explore why you don't want to ask questions. It may be a thing where you just want to control the situation and you don't want to get any more details because you want it to be the way you want it to be in your head, but that's not reality, and that's where the self-undoing happens. So with this, whatever the situation, it's being described as funnel. So period of frustrations, lessons to be learned. So I think that working or collaborating with others right now is going to be your undoing. Like, you just may not be a team player. You may not be a team worker. You may be very independent. You may, and if this is a situation where you're living with someone, you may not trust anything that they're doing with your home, even though, say, they're paying half the rent, and you're like, no, I want the living room to be blue. And this person says, no, purple would go with everything. Don't you see it? And you may just be like, no, absolutely not. You may be kind of unyielding with how you see a situation, but there's some kind of fear behind it. There's some kind of misunderstanding behind how you want to go about resolving this. So what's next here? We've got the Seven of Swords. This is your feelings on whatever this situation is, and your feelings are kind of like, well, no, I'm going to do it my way. I think that I'm going to do it without their consent. I'm going to go and I'm going to do it anyway. Or you may feel like this could be you feeling very suspicious, like, well, I don't trust them. What's their angle? What are they trying to do? Who is this person? Do I even really know them? Like, you're going to be very paranoid. Now, this is saying wheel. It says indecisive, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. So this is why you're feeling this way in regards to this topic. So to me, I feel like maybe you just don't feel like this person has the right leadership skills, or that they don't know what's best for you, or they don't know what's best for themselves. This could be anybody that's close to you or people that are not very close. So it really could just be pretty much anyone. However, if you can think off the top of your head of for somebody that you're not particularly trustworthy of, but you'll probably encounter next week, it'll probably be that. If not, this could simply be, a parent that's very stubborn, or you may be thinking, like, you might have a family member that's like, oh, I have this idea, and you're just not having it. So just be aware of that. So the challenge in this is need to control. That's where a lot of this is coming from. It's like an inability to be flexible, an inability to want to be amicable. Is that the word I'm thinking? Amicable? I can't remember. Amenable? Sorry, I'm thinking of all the A words about friendly, nice, and niceness and stuff. But the challenge is that, what's interesting is this could also be somebody that is not considering you as well, or somebody that's not trusting you as well, because it's not really just focusing on you necessarily. This could be somebody not trusting you, or not feeling that you have the ability to make these decisions, or make a good idea, or come up with a good idea, or this could be just the other party's not trusting you. But whatever the case, the motivation behind this behavior and this situation is probably fear-based, a need to control, a fear of not being able to nitpick and keep things the way you want it to be. It can talk about discord, or just fighting, or fear of the unknown. Remember? Hey, there we go, fear of the unknown. It can be like, but it's mostly in your head, like internally, your fear of what's going to happen. But this can talk about domination and abuse of power. So, someone may pull rank is another way we could see this, is someone could pull rank on something and make the other person feel powerless, and it's really difficult for our relationships when we do that, because the other person feels quite small, and, well, honestly, that's how you lose trust that's how people lose trust in us, lose trust in you, or vice versa. Is because if you pull rank, then suddenly this person does not feel safe anymore. So this could go deeper. Like, you may think that this is something small, but if you pull rank on someone, suddenly they're like, oh, okay, we are not equals then. I guess I had this wrong. And, if you care about this person, they'll shrink away. So you must be careful if this is happening. Now, if it's happening and they're doing it to you, you may need to be on the higher plane here, or the higher take the higher path here and say, well, this person probably doesn't realize how they're reacting, or they don't really realize how it comes off. And maybe that's your time to like say, I really don't like the way you're talking to me about this. I don't like the way that this is going. Try to negotiate. This is going to be a week where people are probably going to be more reactionary than anything else. It's moon in Aries, so it's a fiery, impulsive moon. So you want to make sure that you're not going to be feeling like you want to fight rather than negotiate. It's very difficult. We do have the sun in Libra, which is kind of nice. So there's probably going to be some balance there, but we still have that Mars in Aries retrograde. So you kind of have like more going towards the Aries side of things. So just try not to fight with other people. Try to negotiate. Now, your advice for this time frame is 10 of Cups. Try to be inclusive. If this is somebody that you are trying to push out for your own safety or your own survival or things that meet your needs, this is asking you to be kind to them. Include people. Don't, if you're concerned that you have a secret enemy, be kind to your enemy. Try to take the compassionate approach and see your enemy through a lens of compassion. Because chances are it's not quite as bad as you think. Because again, we're talking about illusions here. Letting your imagination go wild and thinking, oh, I can't trust this person. What are they thinking about me? Oh my God. You're really just having a conversation with yourself and not getting any proper feedback. And so it's just this loop of confirmation bias of like, oh, well, they said that one time, so they must mean this. It's definitely a very paranoid energy. So this is saying that if you can kind of like just harness your fear, include people, make an environment comfortable for people. And if someone is acting shady, this comfort is going to probably make them feel better. It's going to make them feel like they don't need to be shady. So it's saying just be accommodating. So with your outcome, we have 7 of Cups in reverse, which is actually not bad. This talks about good decisions, good outcomes, things that are you made the right decision and now things are moving forward, or things are moving forward smoothly, or you can move on to the next thing. Good resolutions are another thing. It can talk about slight successes. So this may not actually be a really huge deal, but I think the bigger aspect of whatever this conflict is going to be about the people, not necessarily the thing. So you guys could be arguing over red versus blue, but what you're really trying to say is, I don't trust you, so you may need to be more sensitive about what exactly is happening here. So let's see, what else? Yeah. So I got some more cards here. I'm going to pull some cards actually for, actually I'll go through advice first, and then I'm going to pull positive cards because it needs to happen this week. So what lesson are you going to be learning here? Adversity. It says, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. So again, these challenges that you're running into are just learning things. So you don't necessarily have to feel bad if you have to back down or accommodate someone else. It doesn't mean that you lost. It means you're being accommodating. You have, in that case, the power in this situation. If you were feeling powerless, now you have the power because you've chosen to accommodate. So you do have control, really. People often don't see taking the high road as having control sometimes. We just don't consider that an option. But I think that in this case, it could be very, very beneficial for you. Oh, what else? But basically, this is a teachable moment. And you need to be open-minded and you need to be adaptable. And you can see this in this flexible card too. This is the advice. It talks about flexibility, again, teachable moments. So once you overcome the challenges here, this adversity, there's only success on the other side because you've kind of tamed this monster. You've tamed this unknowing, this unseeing beast, like this beast you can't see, and you've claimed that power. So you really find that you might become more self-confident after this if you realize, hey, I can actually control a situation in a compassionate way. If you need control that much, there's ways to do it in a way that is beneficial for everybody. And I think that that is an important skill set for a lot of people to learn, because a lot of us have this my way or the highway mentality. Now, flexible. Let's see if I think I might have talked about everything I needed to talk about with flexible, but basically it says, to have an open mind. What happens if something is rigid? What happens if something is unmoving? Well, when you think about it, you like throw a bowling ball against a tree or a wall. It's gonna break. It's gonna break, and there's gonna be damage and crisis and horrible things everywhere. If you throw it onto a mattress, which is very like bouncy and flexible, everything's fine. The blow is softened. The hard thing that was given to us is suddenly more tame. So this again is saying that compassion is the best way when faced with your unknowing fears, like things that you're not aware of. Compassion is the best way to soften the blow of a hard thing. So try to be more flexible, really, is what it's saying. It's very easy, very straightforward with that card. Now, positive things. So, positive things. Please give group 2 positive things that will happen this week. What positive things will happen that they can look forward to? 2 of Wands. I'm sorry for a second. 2, anything else? What other positive things are happening? Sorry. Well, this is probably a good thing because 5 of Wands is coming out, but that's actually positive. Oh, and hey, I'll take Lovers too because that's nice. So, for some of you, there could be walking through a door, starting something new, and embarking on some kind of, or at this stage you've kind of embarked, but you're in the planning stages of something great. So with the 5 of Wands, this is talking about conflicts and problems that you have solved, possibly through teamwork, because the Lovers is here. So if this is a situation that, you want to improve with somebody else, like say you're having difficulty getting along with someone, this is what's going to happen. You're going to find this harmony and happiness. In some cases, this could be a love relationship. Let me see if I can pull the Lovers card. For Lovers is positive, what is it describing? Please tell me what it's describing. Oh my gosh, my phone is just buzzing. Thief. Thief, okay. This could be saying that this feeling, because the 7th Swords here, that thief thing, may be saying that that may be coming to a close, because we're talking about the positive things here. If not, maybe you're doing something sneaky for a good reason. What else we got here? Merchant. So we've got a merchant. So maybe this is talking about travel or getting a gift or assisting somebody. Actually, with these 2 cards here, that's interesting. These 2 can talk about merchants or being helped by a rich person, like a rich merchant. Interesting. So maybe you've got some surprises coming your way involving some material goods or some positive gains in that way. Overall, though, I think that you're going to overcome your problems. Oh, yeah, and over here, the outcome with the 7 of Cups, maybe there's some kind of choice when it comes to purchasing something new. So maybe this is something fighting over, how to decorate your house and stuff like that. So there could be something like that where this will become a more fun experience for you over time. So that is your reading there. Oh, hang on, I got this too as well. So I pulled a quote from the quote generator, and this is going to kind of maybe give you something to think about this week. If not, maybe it's just fully relevant for you. But as ever said, it says, have you ever felt the longing for someone you could admire, for someone not to look down at but up to? I guess, which is weird because it's Ayn Rand, so I'm like, it's kind of redundant, but this may be saying that you need to look up to somebody, or you're going to become someone that people can look up to. You may become the ideal person that you wish to become through trials that you have this week. This could be very transformative for you. It may not be completely chaotic or completely traumatizing, but this could be a nice little gentle evolution for you. It's going to be very positive, though, whatever this is, this little turmoil. I think that this could be very nice. So I want to thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed my reading. If you want a private reading from me, you can get me on Etsy. My link is in the description below. And I want to thank you for watching. I'm going to move on to group 3. Hi, group 3. This is for those of you that picked the St. Joseph's Oratory coin. Okay, what do we got here? So the focus for you this week is going to be the 6th house. So what does this mean? This means health, routine, your daily schedule. This is the stuff that's coming into focus for you. It could be nutrition. It could be pets even. This could be just something that it's like within your life every day. And maybe it's something that you don't notice because it's always there. I feel like that could be the whole focus here. Now, just beware that whatever you get in this, it's not necessarily like going to be the apocalypse. For some of you, it may be as bad as you fear, but for some of you, it may not be that bad at all. And for most of you, I want to say that it's going to be not that bad for you. It's just like I was saying in the intro. These cards do not have, like I'm pulling out the death card casually. These cards do not have a way to tell me whether this is death or transformation. That's where the intuition comes in. And because it's a general reading, it's going to be a little bit of column A and column B. So just be aware that don't be frightened that there's a death card here. This is mostly the lesson. This isn't saying this is what's going to happen, okay? So just bear with me on that before you start clicking off like, oh God, I don't want to know. Whatever this is, though, it's not, I mean, you're going to get past it. So what I'm seeing here, and this could actually have to do with not necessarily you, but in some cases another person could be this situation. So we have the 9 of Swords, which is your current, which is going to be the situation that comes into focus next week. And like I said, it's going to be a tough week for everybody. That's why I've got positive cards here to kind of follow up with. We can see what good things will happen in your week as well. So with this, we've got the 9 of Swords, we have the 5 of Pentacles, and actually this came out reversed, so it's not quite as bad, I want to say. We have Desk, and then we have, I'm sorry, I think it was this one, and then we had Target, which is a goal-oriented person, to clarify your feelings here on the situation. This is the Challenge. I'm so sorry. It's the Challenge. I know everyone's like, yes, Ace of Cups. I'm like, no, that's the Challenge position, guys. So sorry. And I am taking reversals, so it is what it is. But we've got this stuff here. So where do I start here? So whatever the situation is, it could be very transformative. It could be very good. We're looking at a situation where you're getting to the root of the problem. So if you guys, and I feel like for a lot of you, you've already kind of been in this mess since maybe last week or something, and this is kind of like coming to a head where you could be working with someone who would, or involved with somebody who could be sick. They could be physically sick, they could be mentally sick, they could be not well in some kind of way. This can also mean for some of you, this could be you. You could be feeling this way, and if you haven't, you know, maybe this is saying you're going to get a cold. You know, it could range from anything from like a serious terminal disease for some people. Not saying you're getting that. I'm like, you already know about this, okay? Like saying if it was last week, you know, it could be something very mild or something that could be serious. But for the most of you, I think it's probably going to be mild. Like 99% of you is probably not going to be that bad. So, but what I'm saying is, this looks like some kind of emotional thing for some of you. It's going to be a physical thing for some of you. But it's definitely somebody who's trying to get to the root of their problems because it is reversed. So it does mean that there's kind of this inward looking. So this person's not necessarily wallowing in this mind state of like, you know, bad thoughts. It's like this person realizes they're there and they're trying to get out. So this may not be you. Like I said, this could be somebody else. And the reason why I say that it might not be you is the 5 of Pentacles. So for those of you where you might be already dealing with this type of person, you could be looking at a situation where you're trying to help them and you're just like, I can't do anymore. You may feel like you're just at a loss, like you just can't feel like you can manage it, and it's going to be very stressful for you. You feel like you're putting in a lot of work, but maybe there's just not enough you know, maybe there's just not enough, like, you know, energy in you. Like, you're going to feel a little depleted maybe. Now, with desk, we have pay attention to your work. Now, this could be something that does pertain to work because we do have the 6th house. This is your day-to-day routines. So you could be putting in so much effort at work and you're just like, it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. And you're a goal-oriented person, right? But you're feeling like you just don't have what it takes, or you feel like you just don't have the energy, or you just kind of feel like you're succumbing to inertia. And you know, that could be saying that maybe that you're overwhelmed. For some of you, this is because both of these cards can talk about being sick. This is sick, and then this is how you feel about it. You feel sick, so you may have a cold. that literally is all this is saying. You catch a cold, and as a goal-oriented person and someone who may be very focused on your work, you may not know when to quit. You may not know when to stop, or when to, you know, say, okay, I feel rotten, I'm going to go home and go to bed. You may be really just pushing it. And I think that's what it's telling me here with the challenges. You know, you're not listening to your intuition here. You may be thinking, oh man, I feel like crap, but I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to pull an all-nighter. I'm going to try my best. And that challenge there is not listening to yourself. For some people, this could be saying that the challenge in all of this is if you're trying to cheer someone up, they're just inconsolable maybe. Maybe they're just not able to look up. They might just need to cry and feel terrible and feel sad. And that's just, you're going to have to endure that, because maybe that's what this person needs, is just to feel sad. You know, not everyone is equipped to take care of people, you know, so don't feel, and don't feel like you have to be the one to solve everyone's problems, because you're going to burn yourself out. That's kind of what this is. And I feel like for you, pile 3, I think that you are the type of people that are aware of burnout, but do not listen to your own intuition on that. You don't heed your mental state's warnings. You don't heed your body's warnings when it's like, hey, we're not sleeping so well. Maybe we need to take a rest of some kind. So just be aware of that. This can say that there's difficult emotions at play, feeling sad. A lot of this, when it comes to challenge with aces in a challenge position, it can talk about adjusting after something that ended, a hard ending, and it can talk about like an emotional adjustment after the fact. So if this is grief that another person is going through, you're going to have to deal with the tears that come with it. That's just on the heavy side. But if it's just, you know, for some people this could be like a friend whose pet died, you know, and you're like, I didn't know your cat that well, but I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be here for you. But at what stage does it start to overtax you? Because that's kind of what these cards are talking about, is things becoming too much for you to handle, whether it's your loss or theirs. The advice, we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So you may be overextending. The Queen of Cups in reverse is a Queen of Cups, a sensitive, emotional person that does not have the full understanding of when to pull back. She's just constantly giving and giving and giving, and people are sucking the life out of her, and you know, she's just taking her emotion and her care and she's dumping it into a black hole, and it never comes back, because this person is going to be a black hole right now. This person basically did this until they had nothing left, and now they're here. So it's possible that this is, you know, dealing with this person could be like a chain of events for you that kind of like, you know, they're spiraling and you're like, I'll catch you, and now you're spiraling, and then the next person's like, I'll catch you, and then they're spiraling, you know, just trying to take care of everything. So you want to be careful with that you want to set up emotional boundaries. It may be tough because this person may really need you and you really care about them, but you're going to have to try to put some boundaries up there. Make sure the crises are dealt with, but you can't be there at 2 a.m. when you have to work in the morning to listen to them cry about their hamster or something like that. You know, you just dealing with this person's problems are going to be too much for you eventually, and you're going to spiral as well. In some cases, this could be saying that this is something that's already happened. You're feeling sick because of this this sort of thing. That's what burnout is. So just be aware of, just be really cognizant of yourself. Now, outcome, I think this outcome is going to be for most of the people who do not pay attention here, because I think that this is probably indicating that this is the disruption here. Like you didn't take, this is, if you didn't take the advice, this is kind of what's happening here is there's just going to be obstacles, unpleasant news. You're going to be mostly low energy. It's just going to be, you're going to be completely disconnected from any sensitivity after that point. You're going to be numb, and you're not going to be any good for anyone, and not good to even take care of your own problems. So that's kind of what this is warning you of. And I feel like because this comes up as the outcome, even though this is the advice, I have a feeling this is probably saying that most of you are very hardworking people. You may all be Virgos. You may have heavy Virgo energy, and you're like, no, but I need to fix. No, but I need to make it better. No, but I need to fix. Make it better. Make it fix. You know. And then this is also Pisces. I think not Pisces. This is like Cancer. Actually, no. Is she Scorpio? Cancer? No, this is Cancer. Cancers are also the type to give. Take care. And I think eventually you're going to be like, I'm out. I don't have any more. I've done everything I can, and now I've just hit the floor. And everybody still needs help, and you're not even there to take care of them. So this is really emphasizing that you need to take care of yourself this week, okay? Especially if you're a Virgo, especially if you are a Cancer or a Pisces, or somebody that is a caretaker, someone that's sensitive and wants to care for others. Libras, you know, all of these caretaking signs, you know, worrying about others. It's imperative that you monitor your energy this week. So, the lesson that you're going to learn in this, we've got death, and it says, I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. So for some of you who are dealing with people that are mourning, for things that have fallen out, for bad situations that are just, you can't escape, and things that are inevitable, like inevitable endings. And this could be falling out of a job, this could be falling out of your health, this can be falling out of relationships. Just understand that, you know, all material things, people, stuff, it's all impermanent. It's designed to be here, bring you joy, and then it cannot stay. That's just the way things are. So if it's an item that you're concerned about, if it's a person, you know, whatever it is, you still have the nostalgia, the love, the memories, and the happiness attached to these material things. And that's what you can hang on to. Those things will stay with you, even when the physical thing is gone. So things aren't truly gone. The energy is still with us, and it goes someplace else, because energy cannot be, you know, destroyed, really. It can only be transferred, right? Scientifically. I'm not a physicist, but I know that there are some forces that cannot be eliminated, and I believe that energy can only be transferred. Scientist people, let me know if that's true or not, but that's how I perceive it. Yeah, so that's kind of what you need to see about that. Don't be, you know, and if it's a relationship or a job, if it ends, that energy isn't gone. It may be gone from that person, but it could be coming back around some way, somewhere else. You know, it will return to you. So your advice is not for you. So not for you in reverse is talking about, you know, continuing to pressure on, continuing to push forward, continuing to be strong, and trying to do things until you're just insane at this point. This talks about learning to say no to things that you want, that you really want but aren't working out. It's talking about, you know, not chasing stuff that runs away from you. It's talking about not obsessing over the things you can't have. Just understand that this isn't what you need. If there are too many things in the way of your happiness, it wasn't meant to be. Those obstacles have been put there to make it hard for you to, you know, because you're not going to see a brick wall around a person. You're only going to see obstacles to get to that person. But if there was like a big keep out, no sign on top of them, yeah, maybe it would be easier, but people don't come with that. So, you know, jobs don't come with that. Items don't come with that. Like, no, you can't have it. It's difficult to just determine whether or not you should keep hope for something that is just like impossible to get to have. So that's kind of what we're seeing here. This is what you need to do, is just understand you're wasting your energy banging your head against the wall trying to help someone that can't be helped, or trying to get something that you can't have. Because this can talk about your mood yourself. Like, maybe you're in this mood because you feel like you can't have a job or you can't have a person. And this is going to be the struggle of this week because of the nature of these full moons. Full moons are things coming to a climax and then ending. And then after that, you wait for the things to kind of clear out. The energy lasts for about a month, and then after that you can start a new beginning. In fact, it's like 2 weeks until the new moon. So from there, that's when the energy starts to shift again, and you can start new things, I think. So I want to say that this is going to be a difficult week for you, but not necessarily impossible, so long as you manage your energy. Now, I have positive cards here. I'm here. The what is this? The modern witch is here to look at the bright side. So what positive things can group 3 look forward to in this coming week? What positive things? Show me your best. What positive things? Okay, so you may get a message. You may be waiting for this message. You may be getting a text or someone reaching out to say hi. You may be waiting for this for a while, and then maybe there's too many of them. Maybe that's a whole conversation. Maybe this is a text that is telling you not to give up, or an email, or some kind of motivational message being delivered to you, because the Page of Swords is a messenger. So this person could be saying, hey, maybe this is a sensitive friend that's seeing this, and they're saying, hey, I understand you're having a hard time. Don't give up. You'll be okay. And then the Wheel of Fortune. You might be given a new opportunity for something. You may get some good news around this time when things are feeling hard, like they're not going to get better. You may get some news, something that changed randomly, and you're like, oh my God, what luck! You could win something. Some of you, it may not even be related to this. You may, the same week that this is happening, you may get a call and say, hey, you won the lottery. Well, I don't know if they announce it like that. Or you could win a cruise. Well, no, we're not doing cruises. It's COVID time. Whatever it is, it's going to be positive though, because the Wheel of Fortune is about, it's like playing roulette and winning, especially when I'm asking a question like what good is coming. So I'm not even spinning this. This is the intention of the poll. So I think it's quite positive, but I think that you're going to get a motivational message saying, hey, you're going to be okay. It seems tough, but don't give up. You have more supporters than you think you do. So just take that in and realize that you may seem alone. You may feel alone when this is happening, but there will be somebody that you will probably say, thank God, thank God that this person is here telling me this, because I feel appreciated, or I feel seen, I feel heard, I feel like things may be okay, and that the world is not truly falling apart. I just feel that way. So that's kind of what we're seeing with these cards here. So I have one card here that I pulled for random, I pulled from a random quote here. From Quote Generator. So this may resonate now, or it may resonate later in the week. But would you put something in the comment section, like a number, like when you watched it, what you watched, and then come back a week later and see what you think. But it says, a truth that no one knows is still the truth. I'm not really sure what that means necessarily, but if there's some kind of issue here, this can also talk about news of deception here with an outcome, not for everyone, but I'm wondering if this matters with somebody. It's like if you're hearing a message about you that makes you feel bad about yourself, but you're like, it's a lie. Maybe this could be saying, for those of you that are in that situation, it may be saying that as long as it's not necessarily, as long as it's true, it's still or it's, as long as you know it's false and you know the truth, it's still the truth. It doesn't matter what everyone else thinks. As long as you know who you are, you know what you do, you know the effort you put in, and you know how hard you try, that's all that matters. If people don't see that, you can't make them see that. Some people just want to see the negative. But this is saying, you know, keep your spirits up, keep your hope, keep your faith. Things will be better after this week. And if anything is coming out about you that's not true, just know that you know the truth. And as long as you live it, it will show on you, okay? So if you liked your reading, please like, comment, subscribe. If you would like a private reading with me, you can get me in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description below. I want to thank you for watching, and I wish you the very best of luck for the next week ahead. Please come back and let me know if it resonated or not. I hope to hear back from you. I like to have confirmations. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'm moving on to 4. Hi, group 4. This is for those of you that picked the Sun. This is your reading. So, group 4, this is featuring the 10th house. So this has something to do with career. This has something to do with things coming out in the open, things that come to light with the 10th house, because, you know, this is how the world perceives you. So this could involve your image. It could involve your legacy, how you want to be seen, but, you know, how you are seen, you know. So that's kind of what the 10th is talking about. It's also talking about career. So this could be something that affects your greater career or something of that nature. But it could be any number of those things, because this is a general reading. So keep that in mind. What else do we have here? We've got, I got a bunch of cards here. So the situation of the week ahead is the Queen of Wands. This could be your energy. This could be somebody else. This could be a Leo. Whoever this person is, they are creative. They may have good business decisions. They may be very charismatic. They may be very just enjoyable to be around. They may be very beautiful. They could be very, what's the word? You know, magnetic. What's interesting is how you feel about this situation, because this is going to be a situation surrounding this person. So this is going to be relevant. So it's either going to be you are in focus if you identify with a female energy, or it could be that a female is in focus if you don't think that this is you. If you're not creative, if you're not a Leo, if you don't really care to make great financial business decisions, stuff like that, then it's probably not you. It's probably someone like that. But they may be coming into focus. Now it says skull. Hidden secrets can harm you. Now this, I am taking reversals, so I don't think this person is spilling crap about you or anything. This could be you having maybe, you know, your secrets may become revealed, because we have the 10th house here. So maybe that is indicating that there's some kind of big reveal that you might have to deal with. You know, and if it's not a secret, maybe it's something regarding your career that you weren't aware of. Now, this is implying a harmful secret, though. So if you've been kind of like lax, maybe that we might be seeing a problem here. Like if you've been lazy at work or whatever, maybe there's something that might come to light, like you forgot to dot your I's or cross your T's or whatever. You know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. This could simply be playing on the fact that there's something unknown about this person. It doesn't, and it says can harm you. It's not going to say they will. It's just kind of implying that there's something that's not being seen here. Now, you know what's crazy? I think I'm missing, I had a quote that I had for this pile. I don't have it. I wonder what happened. Maybe it was for this one here. That one, oh, I could probably, sorry. I'm just like, where did the other card go? Well, I'll figure it out. Another thing is, though, how you're feeling about it is the King of Wands. So this could actually be like a couple thing, because you got the Queen and the King of Wands. These are a pair. They're very passionate pairs. So this could be something centered around two people, because I'm not going to ignore that there's, you know, this comes out like this, even though that's not the placement. But with this card here showing how you will feel, there's like suddenly like a call to action, a fiery, passionate like feeling regarding maybe this person, or maybe regarding the secret that is coming out. This could involve like sexual energy too, because both of these are very kind of sexual cards, sexual people, because they're fire signs, you know, they're like, you know, procreative and stuff. So there is that sign there. So what we're seeing though with the King of Wands is this basically this feeling of pursuit. So something with this person is making you feel like you want to pursue somebody. For some of you, somehow, if this is you and you're absolutely sure it's not a female friend or anything, and your girl, and maybe you, then maybe you feel like this person wants to pursue you but can't, or something like that, because we've got the casket to describe why you feel this pursuit. And it says casket, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. So it kind of looks like a fear of losing out, to be honest, because it looks like if something's ending, that this person is going to, like, you know, come on in to get it. You know, it's that fear, it's the fear of losing out, like, oh, what did I miss? Oh my gosh, you know, like that sort of thing. So this is how you feel about this, though. So I feel like something is ending or something's happening, you know, and you're going to have this sense that you have to grab it. You have to get it before it's gone. It's kind of interesting. I'm not really clear on how to pull that. Maybe because I didn't get you guys a quote card, I'll pull some of these. Can we explain what this situation is? Death. Well, yeah, obviously some ending. We know this, casket's here. But like, why is the king, why is the King of Wands here? Wife. So yeah, maybe it's a romantic thing. Sometimes with the 10th house, though, we can have like marriage for status. 10th house being what everyone sees you like. I think I saw in a astrology chart that you know, if you have a bunch of transits over the 10th house, so it can indicate a marriage, because that person is suddenly very visible to the world. All these things are happening to them and they can be seen. So this could be a marriage of some kind. Maybe the marriage feels like it's going to end, but there's like this change of opinion or this change of heart. Even if it's not a wife situation, it could be like a sudden, like 360, like a 180, and suddenly you're being pursued, you know, when you think things were over. But this could, I mean, because it's the area of the 10th house, though, it could still be career, where you think that like maybe the situation with the job is over, but it's not. Or, you know, it could just be like, you know, something with that theme where you know, everything is in sight. So what is the challenge? And we got the what's this guy called? The Chariot in reverse. What is the challenge here? You want to go, but you can't. There's this thing, and astrologically this makes a ton of sense, because we have a square from Mars to Saturn, right? So what people have described this as putting the gas on, you know, pressing the gas in your car and then putting the e-brake on, the emergency brake. So there may be delays, there may be some kind of issue where you can't move forward, but you really truly want, but there's something in the way. There's just this big thing that you can't get out of the way. So there's a lot of frustration. The challenge is, I want, but I can't do. And that's kind of what you're having to deal with. And it's tough because you're becoming restless and impatient. And that's the challenge of this week, is going to be feeling restless. Like you can't move forward no matter how hard you want it. It can talk about some other things here. Divinatory sense. It can talk about ill health. It can talk about decadent desires. It can talk about unethical victories. But I have a feeling for the most of you, for this, it's kind of like, how do I picture it? It's like, what is that song? What is that? Not song, but that movie. I can't remember. It's like a teen movie where girls going on a plane and then the guy's like running through the airport, like, stop, wait, you know, like that. I think that maybe that could be what we're seeing here, but it could be you in this case, just because these are your feelings. This is your restless energy. So yeah, But, so what's the advice for this situation? I believe you got the Seven of Pentacles. I'm not sure if it was in reverse or not. But regardless, the energy of it is don't give up. Don't be impatient, though. You don't have to be pushing or rushing this. This is something that I think can be taken at a slower pace. It can be revisited. I don't think right now is the greatest time to make rush decisions. Oh, that's interesting. I got surprise here. Interesting. But we have surprise, so maybe that's telling us something here. But with the Seven of Swords, or the Seven of Pentacles, we could be looking at basically, this can also mean that if something's not working, that maybe you should just kind of like call it quits and just kind of walk away. That's another way to look at this as advice. But I think for the most part, this is requesting that you have some patience regarding this, just because, you know, it is what it is. You can't make it move forward even if you tried. It's just not happening energetically right now. So what's the outcome? We have the Justice card. So if this is regarding some kind of public thing, if this is regarding a divorce, if this is regarding a, you know, some kind of public affair, and when I say affair, like just like a public, you know, your stuff's out in the open, really, the Justice card is saying that there will be justice. It's upright, so this is a positive thing. This is not a question here. You know, this is saying that, you know, there'll be a good balance of emotions, or there will be justice be done. If you did things correctly, things are working out in your favor. Harmony is restored, and it's just saying that, you know, it's just a matter of waiting. You want it real bad, but you have to wait. So that's kind of where the challenge is here with the Justice card. So, what else was it? Yeah, I think that it's just mostly saying that this is going to be a positive, it'll be a win. It's going to show that this is kind of like you winning, but you have to wait. I get the word nick of time, though. So if it seems very stressed, this could be something that gets better in the nick of time. So, yeah. Anyway, what am I seeing here? Your advice. I have advice, and I also have your lessons. Lessons for this situation. Worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. So what does this mean? Well, obviously, worry. The reason why we worry is because we have a need to control. We have a need to think. We think that somehow if we ruminate on the thought, if we think about it excessively, it will somehow change things. Or maybe there's a fear of letting it go, or fear of you know, if you don't worry about it, then you're going to lose track of it. But really, this is not a situation where you need to worry. This is something that it's going to still, you know, I think that you've got this pressure to get it, or something, a pressure to get something before it's gone. But I think this is saying that the thing that you want isn't even moving. So if you're like chasing somebody, like it's like that airport thing where you're chasing somebody through the airport, but the person, you know, and you're running at full speed, but it turns out the person is like, you know, face planted and now is like being taken to like the ER or something because now they can't get on that plane because something's happened to them and they can't move. So it's like saying that you're chasing something's not even moving, like the Chariot's reversed. So I think that maybe this is the thing, is like you're getting antsy about something, but I don't think that it's something that you can really force or push or get to right now, this week, you know. So, but maybe next week, the week after, you know, that could be the time when things can happen. But worry is not going to solve your problems. You just need to be aware that what exactly are you afraid of? Most people are afraid of losing control of something. They're afraid of losing track. They're afraid that something is going to be out of their hands. And sometimes that happens, and that's okay. You know, it's like you give it up, you know, give it up, and if it's important, it'll stick around. If it's something worth having, it will stick around. But yeah, basically you just want to be in the moment, you know, especially when you can't go anywhere. You want to make sure that you are stuck in the moment of now, you know, what's happening now? What should you be happy about right this second? What do you have? Do you have a house? You have a house. Do you have food to eat? You have food to eat. So worrying isn't going to be helping you right now. So what is the advice? So I actually got 2 cards for this, both in reverse, which isn't bad actually, because this is just advice. But we have yin and we have deep knowing. Deep knowing is about empathy. It's about intuition. It's about that deep knowing. Yin is about receptivity, that passive energy. It's female, you know, female energy. But when they say female, they really mean passive receptive energy. And this is kind of what they're asking you to be in. This is how they want you to be right now. With deep knowing, it is telling you that you are hypersensitive right now. You are taking on a lot of especially with empathy. Whatever this is very emotional for you, maybe. We do have fire signs here. We have Aries, we have Leo. So these are emotional signs, but, you know, more like the need to do, the need to act, to respond. So you may be in this action-oriented energy, but you can't move anywhere. But as a result, you're getting burned out. You're losing track of things. Like how to describe what I want to say here. You just might have like a mental overload here. You're thinking too much about how to solve a thing that you can't move. It's the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. That is what's happening right now. You want to go, but the thing is not moving. So what's happening here with this deep knowing is saying that you need to chill. You need to chill. You need to take a salt bath. You need to listen to some Enya. You need to, you know, burn some incense. You need to relax. And Yin is here saying, let things flow. This isn't saying that you have to let things, like, assume that something you want is just going to fall in your lap. Don't get that confused. Just understand that right now, you got to just chill. Relax. Be receptive. You know, don't force the issue. Let the issue kind of figure itself out. Weed out the blockages there. It's the big message here for you to get past this week is just to go with the flow. If you feel like you are too agitated or hypersensitive or reactive, this would be a great freaking week to take a break. Actually, 10th house, if it's career, maybe in your best interest to take a me day, to take a psychological day, or like a what's it called? Not a self-help day. I don't know, comfort day. Something for you. You know, just say, no, I'm gonna take a vacation just for today, just because it's a crappy day. And if you were looking for a day of the week, it's October 1st, because that's the full moon. So if you're trying to stay out of trouble, keep your nose clean, and not get too agitated, that would be the day to do it, which is Thursday, October 1st. So make sure that you set your vacation to that day if you want to take one. But for the most part, the 10th house is just like, don't make a scene. Don't make a scene. You may want to make a scene, but try not to. Especially if you're an Aries, it's not a great time for Aries. This is a tough year for Aries, and you've got retrograde Mars in your sign, and if that's like your ascendant, you know, it could get dicey. So just take it easy. Now, what I'm gonna do here is actually pull some cards for some good news, because it is such a dicey week. You can thank Arcane and Stellar, my buddy, for telling me to do this. She's like, oh, is it like that? Is it negative this week too? Okay, no problem. Just take nice cards for for what could be going on, like what good things will happen. And so you can thank her for the mercy of these nice cards. So what good thing is happening to group 4? The people who pick pile 4, show me some nice things that they're going to be experiencing this coming week. Oh, okay. Even if it's a bad card, it's going to be a nice thing. So, because I set the intention for that. So just keep that in mind. So moon can be a little bit gloomy, but don't worry, that's not a gloomy card right now, because I didn't make it that way. What other nice things are happening this week for group 4? What can they look forward to? For some of you, I think you're going to have like a dream, like a good dream. Oh, 6 of Cups. That's nice. Yeah, so you might be dreaming about a friend, or you might spend the night at a friend's house, or you might connect with somebody from the past, or you could be connecting with somebody that you may have had little contact with the moon. This could be, oh, for some of you, this can actually mean that you're going to buy something for your house that you wanted, or somebody's going to give you something. This can also mean reuniting if you're at work. This could be somebody from the past coming back. One more nice thing here. These 4 of Pentacles. Whatever the case, you'll have your security. Especially if you're being gifted something, it might imply that you're not going to have to pay for anything. That's nice. But I think that whatever it is, you may have very restful sleep maybe, or you may have very interesting dreams perhaps. Can I take some cards here? Moon. Are they going to dream about something? What is the moon telling me for a good thing? Conversation. Maybe it's something, a hidden conversation might happen, or a secret conversation, or like a secret love affair. Sometimes the moon can mean clandestine love affairs, so that's something you could look forward to maybe. But conversation could be like a discussion about something with an old friend that you really wanted to have. You know, and for some of you, if you are the person running through the airport, maybe the person might stay. I mean, they very well could stay. If you're waiting, if you're worried somebody's leaving, maybe they're staying with the 4 of Pentacles. Maybe they see the value in things. Maybe you might get a really nice hug from somebody too, because oftentimes I see the 4 of Pentacles as like a physical gesture, because you see how closely this person is keeping things to their body. So I sometimes wonder if maybe like someone, like an old friend or your mom or a family member might be giving you some physical affection this week. Yeah, conversation looks good though. I wonder if this is something that you've wanted to have for a while. Maybe it's with this person. Ooh, we got thief, money, lord, prison. Oh my gosh. If something's happened between you and somebody that was not great, this could be indicating an apology that could be happening. We've got lord, we've got prison, we've got money. So yeah, but thief is here. You know, I see thief as the 7 of Swords. So in a good context, I'm wondering if someone's apologizing for something that they may have done that wronged you, or made you feel a certain way that they didn't mean to do. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there. So that's something to look forward to, and I really hope that you guys have a good, productive week. I hope that it's exciting but not too frustrating, and I wish you the best. If you guys want to get a private reading with me, you can contact me at my Etsy shop, Snow City Tarot, on Etsy. And if you like my reading, please like, comment, and subscribe, and put your number in the comment section, and then come back a week later and say whether it was right or not, because I'm curious if you guys can confirm these are any good. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'm going to move on. Hi, group 5. This is for those of you that picked the little dang... Oh, it broke. Okay, well, this is a start to my week. Oh, I guess I'll have to glue that back on. Oh, there's a sign or synchronicity. You guys tell me what that means. Anyway, this is your reading. So we've got the 9th house as the focus. So this can be school, travel, vacations in some case, foreign travel specifically, or just like long distance travel. This isn't like you going to work. This is like if you live in Florida, you're going to Canada, that sort of thing. This can talk about publishing. This can talk about immigration is a big one. Immigration, you know, foreigners as well. So this is something to do with the 9th house here. There's also a theme with this, with divination, wisdom, not psychology, but philosophy, and you know, that sort of practice there. And for some people it's astrology, some people it's tarot actually. So these are the themes of the 9th house. So some of these things could be coming to play in the next week. So let's see here. So what we got here, I got a bunch of things here. Let me organize these. So the main theme of your week is the Lovers. So don't get excited. Lovers has a lot of other meanings. But if it turns out to be a love thing, please come back and let me know. Put your number in the, put what number you picked in there, and then come back and visit and see whether or not it was correct. If this is a relationship thing or if this is something else. But I mean, it could be a partnership here. It could also be a choice, something that's difficult to make, though, because your feelings about it are kind of like, what's happening here? We've got hammock, and we've got eye to clarify your feelings, which are the King of Cups. We've got wedge to clarify this situation here. Now, this is in the area of the 9th house. That's why I'm not necessarily going to go out on a limb and say that it has to do with love right away, but it's a possibility. It's not necessarily... it's not like it can't be, but what we have here is the challenge. We've got your advice. We've got some stuff here, and then also don't get too bummed about challenges and stuff. I've got a good deck here for nice things, so don't worry, I will pull those. So what I see with the Lovers is we're looking at some kind of choice that may have to be made. It could be a choice regarding a relationship, because it does look like there could be a separation. We do have this togetherness of the Lovers card. Sometimes it can discuss a balance between, profane love or, divine love. So it's like those, the dirty aspect of love and the holy aspect of love, that sort of thing. So there could be that sort of thing coming into light here, like the theme. Perhaps these things are being divided. Now, this could also talk about a separation, though, because we do have wedge here, and it says someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. So this could be something about a trip that maybe is not going to happen because we have these ninth house problems. I feel like it could be emotional, though, because your feelings about it are the King of Cups in reverse. And this is kind of suspicious, too. We have psychic ability, trust your intuition. So it's like there could be a situation that you're in with a person and you're kind of like, that one there, I don't know. I think they're up to something weird, and this could be actually either you becoming emotionally hardened to this situation up here, or you're having some really you might be feeling angry or upset about this. Another way to look at this as well is that because the King of Cups can be a man that robs you of your virtue or robs you of your your wealth or something. I can't remember. It was something, but virtue is a big one here in reverse. So this may be you thinking that hey, this person's up to no good. I don't think that they really have my best interest. This is somebody that could really screw you over, honestly, if you feel they're capable of it. But that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Now, what's interesting is we have vacation, hammock. It says taking a vacation physically or mentally. Because we're describing why you feel this way. Maybe this person is checking out. Maybe this person is leaving. Maybe you have a partner that's going to leave and go someplace overseas and just leave you behind. Maybe they'll come back, but it's maybe they didn't plan it with you, and maybe that's something that you should have talked about, and then suddenly they just kind of up and leave and don't tell you, and you're like, what the heck? You didn't even tell me you were leaving or going anywhere. Why are you doing this? So there's this kind of what sort of almost even if they're coming back, you may feel betrayed, or they could have been, since it's ninth house, they could be traveling somewhere, or they could be leaving school and they didn't tell you, or maybe made plans and they ducked out on you. But it's kind of, I think whatever this is going to take you for a loop. Now, I don't see you going completely bonkers about it. I think you might be because I mean, you could be mad, but I don't see you very I feel like the King of Cups is quietly mad, I don't think that you're going to be yelling at somebody and, waving, tree branch at them or something, But it does look like maybe somebody is going to be weird with you and you're going to feel upset about it because it seems like something's getting in the between you. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that it's another person, but again, it's there's a divide that you might have in a partnership, perhaps. This could also be a choice that you're making to get in the way of your own partnerships. This could be something that you're doing. Maybe you're unhappy and you want to make this divide yourself. That's another potential. Could be something that you initiate. And if it's a goal-oriented thing, like, because this does talk about publishing, it does talk about school, it does talk about other activities, maybe this can somehow be, what's the word? This can somehow be translated like that, where somebody might be in the way of your goals. Like, maybe you want to publish a book, and then they're like, hey, surprise, here's something in the way. So that could be a potential as well. Now, what's interesting is seems like it might be a time-oriented thing. Like, maybe this person says, I'm going, you can come with me, but I'm leaving tomorrow. Because that's what the challenge is. There's rashness, making quick decisions, having to, and this can actually talk about moving your home quickly. Like, suddenly you're like, okay, we're leaving tomorrow. Why? You're like, what, why? I don't have anything packed. How can you just dump this in my lap? I have 2 days to pack now. But it looks like this could be like a quick immigration too, because this can also talk about immigration. So there's a theme here where it's like you may be packing to leave country quickly somehow. Hopefully it's not because of political problems, but like maybe it's just, your plans, like somebody was making plans aside of you and you did not communicate about it, I think. And that's kind of what this could be saying. So someone's like, okay, good, I'm up and leaving, whatever. And you're still kind of like, you're left kind of in the dust of this person, because it doesn't seem like they care if you're going with them or not, maybe. That's in some cases. It doesn't necessarily have to be the case. So that's kind of something that I'm seeing here. Now, with the Four of Cups in reverse, when it comes to advice, this is talking about thinking quick. This is talking about making a decision. This is about taking action because it's in reverse. So it's kind of like saying that if you want to go with this person, you're going to have to take action. You're going to have to make a split decision. Maybe you're not someone who can do that easily. If you aren't, we do see that the outcome is that this travel plans get canceled. And in some cases, maybe this person is just riling you up and they never intended to go. That's another potential. If you have someone in your life that would do that, which would just kind of like, they just want to stir the pot or see how you react, or like play a mind game with you. Maybe they never had a vacation that they were going to go on, or maybe there wasn't a trip, or maybe they, because this is talking about outcome being a cancellation of plans, which is strange, to be honest. So unless you've got somebody who's capable of doing that sort of thing, that could be what you're looking at. You'll really, put your number in the thing, let me know if this is true, or whatever, and come back a week from now and tell me whether this happened, because this one's real weird to me, honestly. But with the outcome, though, it can also say that success is yet to come. This can also talk about fear. Like, you may do this, but you may be afraid while you're doing it, because it's a fear of travel. It's also talking about an attachment to a place or a job, but whatever it is, if you're being asked to relocate, and next week is a big enough week that could happen to some of you asked to relocate, you might be afraid to make that change suddenly. Like, maybe you kind of knew it was on the table, but you didn't get the call, and then suddenly you get the call, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't think it was going to happen. And now you have to go. But now you're like, oh my God, I'm going to leave my family, I'm going to leave my friends, you could go do this and that and this and that. And this may be a goal that you wanted. This could be good news that's coming in, but it's like so dramatic and jarring and difficult that maybe you're kind of standing in your own way and you don't go. That could be something that you're going to have to face, doing the hard thing and kind of jumping into the unknown, if that's the case. So, now interestingly, your advice was time to go. So this talks about ending. This talks about walking away. This talks about, and this could be a situation too. If this person just ups and leaves, and even if they're coming back, you may take this very personally. And if that is the case, that this is saying if you've been thinking about this, not dealing with this person's nonsense anymore, and this person goes like on a long-term trip that they've been planning and didn't tell you, and like if it's like a spouse or a long-term partner, and like you feel betrayed maybe, you may have already been thinking about leaving this person behind in some cases, because time to go is saying that this is kind of something that you've known would be happening. It's saying that the situation is kind of like excuse me, the situation has kind of run its course. The way I see this, and what's interesting, so interesting, I love when these things kind of synchronize like this. This also talks about a situation that has run its course, that it's an inevitable ending, and it's not bad. It's not the death card. It's not like the Ten of Swords. This is a situation that you've kind of seen coming, and you know would be better if you were gone, if you were out without this person. Like this may be that last straw for you, where you're like, okay, this was it. This was too crazy. I'm not even going to deal with this anymore. Because time to go is saying, you know, the situation that you've been in with this person or this scenario or whatever has run its course. It's done. You've gained everything there is to gain out of it. Every lesson you needed to learn. There's nothing left. So even if you chose to go beyond what you feel you want to do, because we're talking about intuition here. Your intuition is like you kind of knew something weird like this would happen. But what this is saying is that this person, it's like the soil on your farm has been salted. There's nothing left for you to gain out of this. You can't grow a plant in this soil anymore. It is dry and lifeless, and there's nothing left for you to gain. And that's kind of what time to go is about. It's like it's like all the good days are behind you, and it's like now they're only bad days, and no matter what you do, it's still bad. It's like even if you try to nurture it, you know, give it fertilizer, you know, it's just not happening. And I think it's just saying that this is a situation that's ended, and it's time to surrender. This is the lesson of your week. And it says, I can release my need to control. Release your need to control. So what this is saying is that whatever you've been trying to maintain here that is, you know, ready to end, it's time to go. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to leave the person. This could mean you're leaving your house, your home, someplace that you've been taking up residence. And this is saying that now's the time. This place isn't getting better. It's not getting bigger. It's not getting nicer. The people are still the same way that they have been, you know, if you didn't like the people. And it's saying that the town that you're in, the place that you're living, has nothing left to offer you. It's a dead end. So this is also saying that surrender to the change. Really, that's all it is the thing that you're afraid of most is change right now. You hate change. You want to take a slow path to get to what it is that you want. You want things to be planned. And this is so funny because you know, you hate change, but then suddenly, bam, this is like the worst way for you. Like if you're someone who needs to take their time, this is like a nightmare for people that like to plan, a nightmare for people that like to make sure their decisions are very precise and they know exactly what they're doing. And then somebody just drops this in your lap and you're like, crap, what's happening? So this is where you're going to have to push yourself and surrender to things and just say, okay, I guess we're leaving. You know, because maybe you can't leave without this person, or they can't leave without you, or you got to leave this person and you're afraid to be alone. And this is saying, you know what, maybe you're better off by yourself. Because, you know, if it's a situation with a person and they've left, it's really inconsiderate, don't you think? So that's kind of what we're seeing. Now, I have positive things here too. So let's take a look. Oh, hey, let's get rid of that. And I think I had 2 Ten of Swords in here, which I won't do to you guys. So let's look for something on the positive side of things. Arcade Stellar is my buddy, and she was like, I was like, I don't know about this week. It's a tough week astrologically, and she's just like, maybe you should take some cards for silver linings. I'm like, okay, well, let's do it. So I'm gonna do it. So let's think. For pile 5, please show me some cards, 3 cards for the silver lining in this week. What's good that's coming up? Now this is good too, but it's transformative, so that's not always easy. Oh, Knight of Swords. So this may be a message coming in quickly too, and maybe out of the blue. Seven of Wands. Oh, this is kind of funny because this is a very similar, one of the other ones I pulled. It was kind of like a digital message or some kind of text or something's telling people not to give up or to keep up, keep hope, which is interesting. But let's see. But it was the Page of Swords and Wheel of Fortune. I think that I can't remember if I also got that. Maybe that could be it. For some of you, maybe you're gonna get some news that you've won something. You'll get maybe a free ticket. Maybe that's what this is like a free ticket, and it's almost like you're too worried to take it because it's like such a good thing. Like it could be a free ride. I'm gonna take 2 other cards just in case these guys were just stuck in the deck. But Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. So there's something that you've been waiting for. That this is Five of Pentacles. So this is something that is something that you've wanted. Now, yeah, Five of Pentacles can actually be a good thing, and it did come out reversed, even though I'm not taking reversals. But the way I see this is, moving off with a friend, meeting a friend. In some cases, getting help from a friend. So if this is a situation where your friend is like, hey, I have the means to take you in, or, come and do it. Basically, this person might take you, you might have someone that comes and calls you and takes you out of the snow, basically takes you out of the cold. This can talk about people that are also charity from your friends as well, support from your friends. So if you've been waiting for something to come along, this might be the moment when someone's like, hey, I can make this happen for you. Things will be okay. Don't give up, don't get disparaged. Things will be all right. There could be someone who's there to support you. So, something else about the Five of Pentacles. I'm trying to remember. Oh, gosh. Because everyone's like, oh, it's such a bad card, but it's not. It talks about, a new interest in spiritual things. Sometimes it can talk about, lack, financial lack, but this can also talk about financial upturns in a positive sense. So especially with this card here, Wheel of Fortune, this could be talking about a financial upturn, some kind of good things coming your way when it comes to money. And for some of you, maybe it is your wish, your dream come true. Something great is coming. It's a miracle. For some of you, this might just be like, somebody giving you a little bit of money, just saying, hey, thanks for this. I'm going to repay you. Can I buy you dinner? Can I buy you coffee? That sort of thing. It could be that type of, exchange. So whatever it is, though, I do sense that there's going to be quite a bit of, like a sigh of relief, maybe, when I see things like this, like a sigh of relief. And this Knight of Swords could possibly be a person. This could be you. This could be an air sign. This is a Gemini in this case. Let me see if I can clarify the King of Pentacles. Oh, a provider, maybe. Somebody calling you to say, hey, I've got money. I've got the means. I've got the support. I've got what it is that you need that maybe you're lacking when it comes to and it could be something as small as, it could be something as big as leaving, or it could be as something as small as hey, I heard you were, short for groceries this week. Here's some money. Go buy yourself food. It could be something like that. Some generosity here. Someone is out there looking after you. And this is a Taurus. So maybe this person is inviting you somewhere. Maybe this person is taking care of you. Because Taurus is a gentle sign. It's a generous sign. It's somebody that, takes care of people, makes sure that you're fed. Taurus people, not particularly emotional. My father is a Taurus rising, Taurus sun, and it's the things that are important to him are whether people are clothed, fed, very concerned about whether you have the things that you need. Do you have the right bed? Are you okay? This is the type of person that will say I'll use my father in experience as an example. I go, I sprained my wrist, and he will go out to the drugstore, come back with seven different sprained wrist things from everything off the wall. He just took them all and then bring it home, just dump it on the floor, and just be like, well, one of them's got to work, right? I'm like, really? So it's there's this abundance with Taurus, the abundance with the King of Pentacles, and he makes sure that you're safe. Very, very concerned with your safety. So, I really think that you have someone, despite the trouble that you may be, you have a great support group. You have someone there looking out for you, possibly a male, older male. If not, this can just be somebody who's in this masculine energy, someone who's very secure, you know. So before I leave, I'm sorry, I know I probably cut this off weird. I had a quote for you guys that I took with a random quote generator for your situation, and this one says, all I have is all I need, and all I need is all I have in this moment. And that is the quote from Byron Katie. But this is some kind of quote that may resonate with you or not, but it's something to consider. Maybe this is the mindset that you need to be in. So anyway, that's what you're looking at. So if you like this, please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to get a private reading with me, you can get me on Etsy. My link is in the description box below. If you want to double check this, put a number in the box down there, or comment, and then come back and see if this transpired this way. So I'm curious, because I like to see results. So if you could do that for me, I'd love it. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped, and I will see you in the next video. Bye now.